Hell yeah!
Test out the 4-wheel drive.
Not on the epoxy.
Not on the epoxy floor, please. All right, guys, I am never in this position. I never have anybody tune any of my stuff except for somebody like Adam. So he is my diesel counterpart. This guy is brilliant with his stuff.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Not much. Ready to let this thing eat.
Oh, yeah. So I want to tell you guys, it's very important that you take care of your tuner, all right? I have a lot of customers that do well by me, so I'm trying to take care of Adam here. You know, he's a growing boy. Yeah. So look, this is one of my favorite things in the whole world right there. Ooh, that's we call that a yum yum bar.
Like it.
It's a meal replacement. It's very, very yummy.
Keep them fed and watered.
Oh yeah, that's probably the best tasting protein bar that they're like. It's one of the best.
Like apple pie.
Oh, it's as advertised. Dude, that thing's singing.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna put brake in here. Ready? Yep. Nice, nice, nice. 471,802 right now.
So the yellow line is our commanded rail pressure and red is our actual. That Exergy pump moved so much fuel that it overshot a little bit and then had a hard time trying to control it. So I'm gonna make a little adjustment to our fuel rail pressure tables to get our pressure dialed in. We should make them a better pull than that even.
And that was in 4th, so yeah, before we had dynoed at 5th.
And what tune are you on?
That's on 3.
That is your light tow tune, or what you would tow your car trailer with.
Oh. Our light tow tune makes 470 on the first hit, first one out of the gate, and 800 pound-feet of torque. I like that. I like that. Gotta take care of the tuner. Gotta take care of the tuner. That's gonna be right there on you, hitting you right in the face. Clean, fresh air. We are on setting 3. Let's go to setting 5. Turn her up.
Yeah, buddy, let's give it a shot. See how the rail pressure holds up there.
All right. All right, ready?
Good. Rail pressure looked good actually on that one.
Not bad, not
A
bad.
little spiky, but pause that. Yeah, it bumped out, hit like 27,000 once or twice, but
Nice gains in the middle. Pretty substantial gains in the middle right there. That went from 408 in that one spot right there to 466. 90 pound-foot of torque right there.
And I don't think you ever caught the next gear though, did you?
That was 4th. That was the top of 4th, so that was right at 110 mile an hour.
Okay. Let's see vane position. We can open the turbo vanes up a little bit more too. Had almost 30 or 40% vane position here, so it still didn't quite meet the boost we wanted. But yeah, it almost seems like, I don't know if you were either spinning a little bit or when you got the end of that pull, you know what I mean? It definitely dropped off.
All right, so we're gonna try this loaded now. So we just configured a load file, and we believe that we're gonna have a better torque figure because we should be able to load the turbo harder.
And more power, because you're gonna generate power by
you
torque
make more
at
torque.
RPM, right? So without loading it, this drum isn't heavy enough to simulate pushing a 7,000 pound truck. So that's why we need that eddy power.
Yeah, indeed. This is the dyno is a 3,000 pound simulated load, and again, this thing is 7,500 pounds. So let's give this thing a shot. I have never set this up this way, so give her a whirl. Ready to go? Way less. She shows like a ton less right there. 265, 430, and it accelerated. Crazy. Yeah, accelerated like it was like because it's braking really hard. You can smell that engine brake. That's the first time turning on the eddy brake.
Well, the load must not be calculating because that was just dyno. That was just roller power. You know what I mean? We didn't actually measure the torque through the eddy current for some reason. so we may not have that set up correctly.
No, it's definitely not set up.
Because you could feel the
yeah, I was like, got to take care of my tuner here. Got to take care of your tuner right there, you know.
You're the man. I have another file in this thing, but yeah, man, I think we're going to be chasing our tail without some load control. This thing makes too much torque for that little roller, so we're going to be fighting it no matter what we do. The load curve that we kind of just talked about would work pretty good for it, but I think because it's not adding that torque value, you're getting that low number, but it kind of needs the load. So we'll try the higher gear, try to use the rear brakes a little bit to spool it up, and then just let it go. But I don't think you're ever going to see numbers over 500 horse really much because we're close. We're close. We're close. I mean, you saw the tow tune made 470, which was more than the number 5 did before. Yeah, you know, before you were at a low enough power level that the roller was kind of enough. Now you're making enough power that it's not even like getting the torque up to where it can, not spooling the turbo hard enough because there's not enough load on it.
So in other words, we don't have our load cell calibrated. I never use the load cell there. I mean, most of the cars I work on are 3,000 to 4,000 pounds max, like a CTSV. I've never really had to calibrate that, and I don't have the data to how to do that either at the moment. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to get the peak number that we're after. However, we are going to max out what we can, and basically we're doing the best we can with what we have.
Yeah, we'll go road test it after this, make sure the truck's doing what it should, rail pressures and all are happy, and it's making boost like it should. And then you're going to come back later, and I'm going to help you walk through making sure the load cell's calibrated, because you're going to, I mean, this dyno's got the capability to do what we need to do.
So wanted to ask you real quick about that XRG pump. What do you think?
So, those pumps are amazing. These guys build some really good stuff. I mean, they were originally a Bosch research facility. What we did in here, actually, I talked to you a little earlier about if we go under fuel pressure, but what we're really playing with in here is this desired flow versus current. So the way the CP3 works is as you add current to the fuel pressure regulator, it limits the fuel that goes into the pump, so lowering the pressure. Funny thing is, on a Duramax, if you unplug the regulator on the pump, it goes to max pressure. So if you sit there and the truck's idle and you unplug it, it'll go gang, 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 sound like a Cummins, because it'll make a ton of pressure. So what we had to do was we actually had to bring this curve up more milliamps and actually close the thing down, because that pump, like you said, has enough fuel for 800 horse. With the stock injectors, if we left the same table in it, the fuel pressure was going off the charts, because now this pump has so much more capability.
He said that it's about 27% more volume than stock, and then they were talking about how at 3,000 RPM, the stock one would go up and just flatline, whereas this one just keeps on trucking. Yeah. So.
And not to mention, you had a 170,000 mile worn out pump that was probably 30% below its capability. I mean, to make pressures like 26, 28,000 PSI, those clearances are on the micron level, you know.
What kind of pressures are we making?
Spiked at 28,000 PSI. Okay. The commanded rail pressure is about 26.5, 27, and it'll spike for a little bit and kind of catch up. You know, that in comparison to like a Gen 5 direct injected motor makes what, 4,000 PSI?
Yeah, about 4 at the most.
So I don't know the physics of gasoline. Obviously diesel you can drive to really high pressures. I believe there's a reason why they don't push gas even higher, because I think that you start having problems. The fuel itself either becomes combustible, I'm not sure at those pressures.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
But they don't run it nearly that high.
All right, so because we don't have our load cells calibrated and we can't really load it with the eddy brake the way that we would want to, we're going to try and make some pulls in 5th gear, but for right now we're doing another pull in 4th gear, just kind of see our delta. And then we're going to do some pulls in 5th gear to try and simulate what that is. Now, we'll show a little bit more load in 5th. We should be able to make a little bit more boost, you know, but again, the load is what's going to be able to flare up the torque a little bit. And if you make more torque as a function of the algorithm, you are going to make more horsepower.
52, 52.
Amen.
If the numbers don't cross, then somebody's fooling with the dyno.
Amen. All right, so given the fuel of what you had sent in, you were expecting a number more like
550, 575.
Okay, and because our load is not working right, we're not able to realize that. So I mean, he's done this day in and day out. That would be like me loading up a tune with a given setup, and I'd be like, hey, this combination is normally good for X, and it's not making it. So normally he's used to dynoing on a dyno that has the load cell calibrated, but again, we don't. This is only the second time this has ever been on the dyno, and there, say it once again, we're not going to see and realize the numbers that we were hoping for because the load cell is not calibrated correctly with the eddy brake.
But we're going to get that fixed and make it run again. And this thing was really good, actually.
The apple pie yum yum bar. Honest opinion.
It's pretty dope, to be honest. And I'm not a protein bar kind of guy, but that's like a full meal replacement right there.
Word to your mother. All right, so I'm going to foot brake. Not bad. So yeah, the area where we had our little like
right when you come off the brake. As soon as the load goes away, the power just drops because there's nothing to keep it spooled and loaded, right?
Yeah.
So that little bit of inertia that you had stored up right off the start of the pull, it made a big torque number, made some power. But as soon as you're out of load, it's like it's just spinning tires on wet pavement kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think when you get that load control, we're gonna make a 600 number with this.
Let's try something real quick here. All right, we think we might be having a little slipping issue here. So, whoa, all the marbles. And we're gonna do a 5th gear pull here. So you gotta have that spray adhesive or your Aquanet. Oh, listen, that's what you want to hear. That sticky, searing sound.
Is that contact spin? Oh, I love it. Do they still even make?
Yes, there it is. There it is.
Where did you get this stuff?
Publix, $1.50.
For real? That's the thing. Old foot brake trick one more time.
All right, so we got 87 degrees here. This is gonna be our 5th gear pull. All the marbles. Foot brake. Decent torque number, 918 there, 498. You definitely see how it kind of loads down. That's the highest mile an hour I've ever turned. That's 130. That's a lot on that drive shaft. That's definitely a lot on that drive shaft. That's much more than I would normally do on a truck there. All right, Adam, we have some verdicts here. This is some pretty interesting information. So despite us not being able to do our load control, you know, Adam is a firm believer saying, hey, you know, we will definitely see a bigger number. So this is not the most exciting number, but we're gonna go test it out on the street. And I have no doubts that this thing is gonna be an absolute feast. The main point is that we had our controlled and variables beforehand and now. So before, at the same spot, in this exact area, we're up over 100 pound-foot of torque. In some areas down here, we're up, well, quite a bit more, almost 200 foot-pounds of torque right there. And again, we can't really just maintain the load. Basically, he was saying, you know, think of it as, you know, you're loading it, and then that load kind of just goes away as soon as
it's like spinning the tires, right?
Yeah,
if you watch a turbo car leave and it blows the tires off, the boost falls away.
Absolutely.
The car doesn't make power. So similar issue here. We can't put enough load on this thing for the turbo to do its job.
So we are well over 100 foot-pounds all the way across the board, and we believe once we see that on the street, which I can't wait for right now. Now it's raining, and we got our 4-wheel drive hooked up, so that is like a huge.
We gotta go
upgrade.
check that out.
Gotta try that. That's gonna be what it takes in order to try and beat this Galaxy, guys. I don't have any plans to spray this. This is my daily driver. This is not just a play toy that I have. This is something that is, you know, I kind of have to keep it running. And
we are taking the bottle out of his car.
Yeah, we have to take the bottle out. There's no way, and he'll probably find a way.
I don't trust him.
I don't trust him either.
He's like, well, it's there. Like, how do you not use it?
Agreed, 100%.
So let's go take a look at the load cell.
Okay.
So this thing's super cool. It's effectively just an energy absorbing device. Early engine brakes and dynos either used literally a brake caliper or a water pump. Thing's really slick because the dyno puts power into these electromagnetic coils and it resists almost like brakes. They look like brake rotors.
Yeah,
obviously.
they do. They really
you can
do.
feel the heat. We made one pull with a little bit of load.
Yeah, and that was a while ago.
That was a while ago. These things get super hot. We usually will put blowers on these if you're going to do a lot of loaded pulls. Down here on the floor, there's a little aluminum block down there with 2 machine slots.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
That's a load cell. It has a strain gauge in it.
Okay.
And as you stretch the metal, it measures the thousandths of an inch strain of the metal. So what happens is this center section, although probably hot, usually moves a little bit. There's usually a little slack. But I think what happened when we tried to run it loaded it all right. You felt
definitely loaded it.
And it made way less power.
Yeah.
Because what happened is it wasn't adding the torque absorbed by the brake to the power number that you were getting.
The way that it feels and the way that the turbo feels just driving it, I think it's going to be a freaking monster.
Well, it's going to be a whole different machine than what you drove last time. For sure.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Tranny is trying to keep up.
Yeah.
Tranny is not happy with the amount of power you're creating. Did you feel it just mushy attempt to shift?
Yeah,
that was run tow haul mode too.
Okay.
It's gonna have way more chance of if it actually locks the converter.
Right, so we have the realization that there are some substantial exhaust leaks, and we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. We didn't know this on the dyno, so that is
was too loud.
Yeah, it's way too loud on the dyno. Now that we're in the more quiet cabin, listen to this real quick here. That little birdie. Yeah, it was like, yep.
There might even be a little cold side leak too, so we'll have to take a listen. But yeah, we'll look for some soot trails. If you have any leaks on the up pipes or exhaust manifolds, there'll be little soot trails from the leaks. So.
And we may be newbies, but Adam said, hey, this happens to him sometimes. You know, it's just this type of stuff happens. You know, so we're working through the problems. I mean, hey, you know, if you wanted to be stock and not have problems, then you just have to stay stock. But you know, but I'm not living like that. You know,
come up on it just enough to like slightly hear the turbo, just a couple pounds of boost even.
Oh, look at that smoke! Holy crap!
So you needed a little. You can just pull a little harder than that for sure.
Okay.
You had like when you let off the brake, it just dropped for a second.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to see like at least 3 to 5 pounds.
Okay.
You know? I leave on my drag truck. Sometimes I'll leave between 10 and 15, but any more than that, and I can spin all 4 tires with slicks on it. So.
Jeez. You're making a little more steam than I am.
Yes, it's true, and your truck weighs quite a bit more than mine.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, I mean, it feels good. We just got to get those darn leaks fixed. Yeah. I think it's gonna
quite a bit stronger. Than
it feels
before.
good, man. It feels really good. I'm really happy with it. I'm stoked for all the parts, and I mean, the beauty of all this is that we still have a little bit of room to grow. Not so much with these injectors, but we got a
trick up your sleeves.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. But I mean, the 4-wheel drive, dude, that is the biggest.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
so
that was pretty sad watching you try to leave on 80 psi radial truck tires, load range E truck tires and 2-wheel drive. So you're like, I'm gonna try a little bit more spool, and then you just smoke the tires all the way down the track.
It's terrible. We believe we had an exhaust leak or a boost leak. It doesn't take Adam but a second to get down there. Got it.
Massive boost leak.
Massive boost leak. Okay, so got to take care of my tuner. Hey, do you want me to tune your car while you're here?
Please do.
All right. We're gonna hook him up. You guys always take care of your tuner, okay? That's a big thing. Gotta take care of that guy. We're doing here, Georgie.
Taking care of the tuner, man.
That's right.
Hooking him up with a little.
Hell yeah. Coolant tank. All right, doing some efficiency modifications on this V. Looking good. Got to take care of your tuner. So wait a minute, you're supposed to clean the air filter?
Dude, how much power can you make on a disgustingly dirty air filter? That is the question. Apparently, it's in the 500s.
Oh, that is pretty bad.
Dude.
That's probably worse than I thought.
That's disgusting.
Yep, all right, so check this out. The one time I had a small mound. All right, let's bang that out on the ground there.
Yeah, that probably floats really good.
Well, believe it or not, I actually did this on the dyno before with a smaller filter. I had something that was literally about an inch tall of dirt, and it didn't make much of a difference. I thought that it would, but that's really dirty. I'll definitely give you that.
That thing is so nasty. So this was installed in, probably around 2017, maybe 16?
Something like that. It's almost been 3 years since I got the truck.
Never been off the truck.
Good to go. I think I should clean that.
Let's go ahead and clean that. We might get a little more airflow. There's normally a little piece of like tape that covers this hole. And so you open that up, and then they give you a cover plate if you want to block that off.
So I was offsetting the amount of dirt that I knew that I was going to consume.
Well, luckily you have this opening here where the unfiltered air is entering the MAF.
Yeah.
That's where the filter minder is supposed to go. So that's just bypassing the dirty filter and sucking the dirt directly in for maximum boost.
That's a restriction, though. Oh, yeah. That's a billion times better. All right, so I needed the schooling. I, for some reason, had the mentality that I was doing something wrong with going from the 4-wheel drive or whatever, but you showed me how to do it. It is freaking sick.
4-wheel drive launch is where it's at.
Night and day difference.
Yeah.
Game changer. I'm so stoked. So, I mean, I can't wait to freaking pound this thing a whole bunch more. It looks so much better. It's so much cleaner. It's more responsive. I mean, it's a win-win-win. We've got some really great stuff going on here. Sure. Now, let's maybe save a little bit of weight, and we'll try it. So this setup is maxed out. Next thing, you know, we're looking at some Exergy injectors.
A little more fuel to the equation. We might have, you know, another 5% or less. We could really push these injectors, but we talked about how at this point we open them any longer, it's just going to be going out the tailpipe instead of in the cylinder when we need.
So we're going to get the dyno calibrated right and hopefully be able to throw down some big numbers. But numbers aside, let's freaking kick that Galaxy's butt, and let's do it with a big fat daily driver.
D-Max for the win.
Pork chop.
That's it.
That's right. So a lot of you guys watch for the tech tips that we offer and so many different important little details that hopefully can save you money and either learn how to tune your car. So we have actually been kicking around the idea of doing a tuning school, and that will be hopefully in the next maybe month and a half or so. But also if you guys are interested at all in tuning a diesel, Adam and I were kind of just kicking around some ideas that...
Yeah, I'd be down to teach a basics course, you know, for guys that are wanting to play with their trucks a little bit and give them a little understanding of, you know, the major parameters that you'd want to adjust and getting some more performance out of your diesel truck. And there's a lot of great tuning softwares out there, HP Tuners, EFI Live, they all support it. So
hit us up in the comments, and or you can DM me through Instagram. Also, guys, please check out Adam's Instagram at Pila Motorsports. Gonna be kicking off a YouTube, or how's that going?
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel. We just got to start putting some more cool stuff. Yeah. So we'll get together and do some more shenanigans.
Yeah, Pila Motorsports at YouTube, and we got a bunch of other stuff coming up that we really want to share with you. Some pretty rowdy mud stuff. Yeah.
Mud trucks, tanks.
Oh, dude,
all sorts of crazy stuff.
Talk nerdy to me. All right, guys, we'll see you later.
Take it easy.
All right, so Adam says right about 5 or 10 pounds. Here we go, 4-wheel high. Look at the cloud of smoke back there. But I mean, that launch is like way better. Woo, them EGTs did go up there. Woo. That is fun.